Well, hello, everybody. I'm feeling a lot better this afternoon than I did today. Thought I was really going to be sick and end up in the hospital, but I didn't. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the wall. I'm trying to get so if anybody tunes in, I can see him. Let us talk about the wall. The wall. Okay, I got you, I think. Okay. As soon as it loads up, don't tell me this thing's going to take forever to load. But anyway, everybody's got different opinions about that wall. I thought it was going to be longer than what uh, they're saying. Uh, Apparently, it ain't going to be very long. I thought it was going to be like the Chinese walls. Apparently not. Let's try again. I'll get this thing on here. Well, I got one person that's probably me over here trying to get on. Let's just try something else. Okay, my videos. Yeah, it might take forever. Might have to use a different. Well, let's maybe use a different cell phone. I don't feel like splitting the screen myself. Let's see. Here we go. I think I got you. Okay. I think I got you. Okay. I think I got you. Okay. Turn that one down. What am I going to do here? Let's see here. I'm still punching on it. Anybody got anything to say about this wall? Pros and cons. Let's talk about the wall. Who's for it, who's against it, and reasons why. I'm on the fence if you want to know the truth. There. So there you go. I got my first comment up there. Apparently we lost some people. I guess they don't want to talk about the wall. Bunch of scared people, I guess. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than what it is. Apparently it ain't going to be that long. And what about all the aspects of basically, I mean, shutting down the government to get a wall? Is that going to be feasible? What about the employees that didn't get paid? I heard they wasn't even going to give out food stamps. I don't have any or get any, but there's a lot of people that needs it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Oh, hello. Who's this? Okay. I have to get it up close. Hello, Tammy. Well, what do you think about the wall? I know it's not going to be that much of a display in my life one way or the other because I don't live by the border. I live up in Oklahoma. I guess I could come to Oklahoma. I just don't know. I don't know, we're shutting down the government to get a wall, or the Democrats fighting the Republicans is the way we want our government to be run. Yeah, I'm still working on stuff. Well, think about it. I don't blame you. I don't think about it either. I gave up working on today. I didn't work anything in the back room, trying to thin down my hoarding. Maybe I need some people. He's worried about people coming over and stealing and murdering us and everything else. Who knows? I think both sides need to come to an agreement. That's right. You're right about one thing. Watching the news will either make you depressed or suicidal or God knows what all. But that's all it is drama. It's just full of drama. And that's what happens. I mean, I wouldn't be in politics. I wouldn't have that president's job. I wouldn't do any of that. I mean, I will say, even though he's been bankrupt a couple, 3 times or whatever, he's a businessman. And maybe that's what we need for a while. I mean, I think Congress and the president and the House of Representatives, I think they all need to work together and come to a conclusion or something that's feasible for everybody else. We don't want to end up being like France or Venezuela, for God's sakes, where our dollar and our money ain't no good. Or we don't want a social state like North Korea. They got closed borders. They got a big wall. They got, they don't allow nobody escaping out of North Korea. Is that what kind of state we need? I don't know. Here we got somebody up here. Let's see what he says. I have to put it up here. I can't see that small print. Or she says, excuse me. No, I don't, but I'll try to give him a check out. I'm really not political too much. I've seen and lived long enough under a lot of presidents and a lot of different things from Second World War on. I've seen a lot of different things of watching a Korean deal right now. But I mean, what kind of government, what kind of country do we want? Do we want open borders? Do we want closed borders? Do we want to be like China was back in the 1800s, where they closed all the borders off to the outside people? Does our dollar inflate or deflate because of closing the borders and stuff? I mean, I looked at the metal fence that they're putting up. Basically, is it's just sheets of metal like bars, and I thought to myself, okay, what about they're worried about them breaking through, tunneling under, climbing over. Well, they look as wide as that gap is. If you had to come along, you wrap it around 2 of them posts and come along it together and widen out the gap and just walk on through. I mean, they're not going to be able to watch every square inch of that border. I don't really believe so. Now take Israel. They built concrete walls and they patrol their border, but their country is really small. So, and they have pass-throughs and this, that, and the other. So, I mean, apparently what we're doing right now ain't working. In Oklahoma, my son was telling me today after he came in from work and asked me how I was feeling. It's feeling rough. He said they stopped the semi on Interstate 35 that I don't know how many tons of marijuana it had on it. Hello, Irene. So therefore, maybe we do need that border. Let's see what I got here. I know I don't. I heard about some people coming up from down in Mexico and down further south in Mexico coming up, and I think that anybody that needs political asylum, I'm sort of a liberal on that, or needs a better way of life. I mean, I think we should have them documented at least. You know what I'm saying? That's coming into the country. I even thought one time, I said, well, why don't we just build a wall across like the Panama Canal and then annex from the Panama Canal all the way up to the North Pole? We don't need then we could have Canada as part of one of our states in 2 or 3 states in it, and all the little states like let's see, Mexico would be a state, not a country. It'd be a state, one of our states, and Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, one of our states or territories. I mean, that eliminate that wall. I mean, they most of the countries depend on our dollar anyway. I don't think they would even object. I don't think anything south of the border would object all the way to Panama. I don't think Canada would object. Uh, we have I think we got a clad treaty with them anyway. I mean, look at all the look what happened to El Salvador. El Salvador, the biggest bill they had was $100 bill, just like we had. That's the biggest bill you can get is $100 bill. Okay, they trouble is after their collapse and everything else, you know, that their wheelbarrow full of money don't even buy don't even buy a loaf of bread. So should they have built a wall? And now, hey, they're one of the gas-rich places of the world. You know, I mean, they got enough gas that their gas is like 6 cents a gallon. You know, and versus our $2 or $3 a gallon. So, and then their economy still collapsed. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to keep anybody out by building a wall. Is it going to be just like a wall like Hitler closed off all the Jews in Poland and built a wall and kept them in the slums till they decided to dispose of them? I don't see the. I mean, I don't know about this wall thing. They need to explain it more. Okay, wouldn't it be better to just spend some money on cleaning up inside our country versus a wall? Maybe it does need to put the military on the border. I mean, I'd rather see them on our border defending our country versus going over there in Iraq and Iran, and God knows what happens over there. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, I don't know. This thing had an error. I don't know why I had it. I had to clean out this deal, and it gave me an error. Let's see if it's going to load up this time. But don't. I'll still use this phone. Got somebody else here. Except this thing closes out every time. So. Yeah, it's a steel wall bars, 30 foot tall. But you can take and bend bars with a come along. You know, you can take silk and wet it and still stretch out the bars with just cloth. So if one man could carry a come along, hook it to a bar to hook it to a bar, and jack it together, and he could open up 2 holes, and people just come over by the flood. You still need to patrol it, whatever kind of fence, wall, border, whatever. It's still going to rely on patrolling it. So that technology still needs to get a lot better. We need to, and then maybe we need more than one just screening area. Maybe we should need 50 across there to screen people that wants to come across. I mean, I don't like the idea of the MS-13 or drugs coming over this country, but apparently we got enough drugs already in this country. They don't even come from Mexico. There's a lot of them come through Canada. I don't hear them building a wall through Canada. And if you've ever been around Canada, there's parts of Canada you can just walk across the street, and they're Canadians. On this side of the street, you're Americans. They don't even have a fence. They don't have nothing. They have a white line. Well, that's really going to stop a lot of people. So, I mean, and then I've heard that people from them southern countries, Mexico, El Salvador, and Costa Rica, and all that other places, they just get on a plane, fly to Canada, and walk across. So, I mean, if it's going to cost you $600 or $700 to get what they call a coyote to bring you across, you could just fly on a plane to some place in Canada and walk across. Except now you'd be up north and South Dakota or Montana or wherever, it'd be a little rough on you and cold. and you wouldn't blend in as well as you would coming from California, Mexico, Arizona, or Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, because there are a lot of Spanish-speaking people down there. So you wouldn't blend in too good. I don't know. That wall, I mean, there's a lot of them that tried to be a wall. Stalin's tried to put walls around Russia and all kinds of stuff. Even after the Berlin Wall, I mean, they put the Berlin Wall up. I mean, they ended up tearing it down because it was not feasible. It didn't work. A wall don't work. It's too much in history that'll show you the wall. You can start back as far as I can remember, and I can't remember quite that far. But Hadrian's Wall, the Romans, they built a wall across England. It didn't work either. All they did them is cause them to lose England. And then China built one. Maybe 4 or 5 of them China did. And every time an emperor built a wall, the country went belly up. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on. But a 30-foot metal wall is not going to keep somebody out. I mean, if the bars are 6 inches apart or 8 inches apart, and you take a come along and hook over here and a come along hook over here on on 3 or 4 bars, well, it's going to widen. If you hook it here, if you hook it on here and this other bar is here, what's going to happen? It's just going to widen that bar out. So they can just walk through. They probably run through it. So I don't know. I think something's got to be done. I'm just not the smartest man to figure out how to do it. And I don't think a lot of people are anyway. I don't think in history they've had some smart people, but every time they built a wall, it didn't work. So I think maybe we need a ditch. Maybe we need a moat like England and some of the European countries had around their castles. Maybe we need a moat. And we need something better than Rio Grande River, because that don't work too well either in Texas. Or the Bradis River, whatever the river. They got some rivers down there. I don't know. I'm open for suggestions. Maybe we should try the wall and see how it works. It's worth spending the money. I don't know. Or he's sitting there looking at me. Go on, now you can get down. Go on, Gripey. He's been hateful ever since I got sick and stayed in bed all day. I made me a small, like a lettuce sandwich. Put some meat in it and lettuce wrap. Tried to get something real light in my stomach. And I don't know. I had that cinnamon roll, and buddy, about an hour later, I had a sugar attack. So, do you know how much produce they'll come and talk about lettuce and stuff? We get in from the southern countries like Mexico and this, that, and the other. We've been trying to get some stuff through China, but like a lot of produce and stuff like that. But they have to pick it some severely green, because it takes a while to ship it over here by ship. They don't fly it. So therefore it ripens on the way, and some of it's spoiled before it gets here. So we really depend on anything south of the border, all the way down to even through South America, excuse my hiccups, for their produce and stuff. So, I mean, I think annexing it'd be the way to go. Just annex it all the way. I think it'd be cheaper to build a wall across the Panama Canal. You already got a barrier there, the Panama Canal. And just annex it all. That'd be all of our territories, Costa Rica and all Mexico and all the other little countries. Even go all the way to go to Canada and annex it. That'd be Canada has to. We cut it up. Eastern, Western, and Middle Canada have 3 different territories up there, and just call it all America, North America. That's what they call it, North America, United States, North America, or whatever they want to call it. Pretty well do it already. If we did that, we could raise up the economy in all them southern Mexico states. Hey, I'd like to have a house on the coast in Costa Rica when it got too cold up here. Instead of going to Florida or Arizona like all them van dwellers, they could go out there to go down there to Costa Rica. I don't know. Oh, U.S. foods. I go. There's two or three places in town, but I go usually U.S. Foods. They got a oh, some other store I've not been to, but I like to buy in bulk at U.S. Foods, and I'm going to tell you the main reason I do that, and then we'll go back to our wall. They keep everything at real cool, cold temperatures. Their frozen department, I mean, when they keep food froze, it's frozen. You go in there and pick it out, it's froze. You go in their produce deal, and it's way down there, just maybe right at freezing. So that makes fresher food, this, that, and the other. And good bacon costs you around, $7, $8 a pound. Well, if I buy a 25-pound box of bacon and I pay $47 for it, if you bought at Walmart, per se, and you bought the upper bacon, usually just get 12 ounces instead of 16, and you end up paying $200 for 25 pounds. So, see the difference? I'm saving $150 just on my bacon alone. But back to our wall. We could regulate prices better. We could regulate quality better. If you realize how many trucks come over here from Mexico. Now, hey, if it was part of ours, we could be up there. Who else we got up here? There's my. Well, I'm glad you did, Lost on Land. Uh, I wouldn't mind if we could take trips to Mexico and El Salvador and Costa Rica, and it was part of the United States, just like the Panama Canal is, and our Puerto Rico is. I mean, they function on our dollar anyway, so what the heck? Uh, I like traveling in an RV, and I bought me a new toy hauler. That makes my third RV. I've got a school bus, an ambulance, and now I've got a toy hauler trailer that I'm going to convert into it. Uh, I guess you didn't go to the RTR this year. I didn't. I was thinking about it, but then I got to looking. There's too many people. That's like that herd that's coming up from Mexico. There's over 10,000 vehicles over there in RTR in Arizona, from courtside. Too many people for me. But I don't know about this wall. I'm not. I'm just on the fence. I mean, I don't. I think the president, Congress, the House should be able to get along better to come up with some kind of idea. I mean, there is people suffering. I heard that they cut off the food stamps. Now, some people, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to read this. Well, it probably does. Mexico does make some good stuff. But now, what was I going to say? I forgot it. Maybe somebody help me. Uh, Hi back at you. Uh, I believe that Congress, the House of Representatives, they could come. They don't. Basically, there are employees. Okay, and I think they could do better than what they're doing. There are employees. They should work for us, not just to want to squabble with one another. There are employees, for God's sakes. They're supposed to serve the people. They took the job on serving the masses, us. So, so you took the job of serving us in service. I think some of the people that is government workers like air traffic controllers, the National Guard, they told them to have garage sales. Come on now. I mean, shit, are you going to make all that much money to pay a $1,200 uh, uh, your payment on your house, $1,200 a house payment on a garage sale? What are you going to do? Strip out your damn house, then try to sell it for 10 cents on the dollar, and then after the government starts back up, you need that TV. You'll need that dresser. You'll need that stuff. So you have to. I guess that would raise the economy because you have to go out there and buy it again. The food stamps, I heard that they was cutting some of them that are not going to mail them out. I don't know how they do it. I think they don't mail the paper anymore. I think they just give them a card or something. or and then that WIC. I mean, I've done a little bit of research. WIC is for pregnant women that has kids that can't help needs help to feed them. Well, they're cutting out all these government programs, but they're hurting and really abusing. Is that what we put our government in there to abuse our own citizens? Hell no, I don't think so. I don't think we put the government in there to abuse our own citizens that need help. You know, well, I do know I got my Social Security check, so they didn't sit down with the Social Security people. They don't want all of us old people raising hell because we would like, hey, dude, I put the money in there. That's my damn money. It ain't even yours. Uh, but now, for his food stamps and this, that, and the other, there's women and probably young couples or stuff that needs help. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna help people just over throwing or throwing your weight around. Well, that's true. He doesn't know. He's never known what it. He doesn't even know what a loaf of bread costs, and he don't know what it is to live week for week or every month when the people get their funds. Some people are decided they're a little bit better off than other people, but the point I would just like I said, I would cut my income pretty well in half or less, and well, about a third or so, uh, even half or whatever. And then some people just draw on Social Security. If they cut the Social Security check off, it's just like cutting the food stamps off of these women. That's I was talking to a woman, and I've known her for a long time. She works at Walmart, and she works 40 hours a week. She works her butt off, and she gets $10 an hour. I think it was nine something, almost $10 an hour. Let's say 10, so it's easy. And she gets food stamps and a little bit of assistance. She has 4 children. So they can't find the daddy to him. He went somewhere, probably died or whatever. You'd be better off if he did die. She could draw his Social Security or something. But she's basically supporting her family with Walmart, what they pay her, and food stamps and a little bit of and that's it. Well, she said when they cut off the food stamps, I talked to her. It was yesterday or day before yesterday when I went out to U.S. Foods and bought that supplies and stuff. Uh, she said now that they've done that, she says I can't feed my family. She said, and my food stamps that they gave me only lasted 3 weeks anyway. We had to really tighten our belt on the fourth week before they got them back again. And this woman worked off. I mean, 40 hours a week at a job. She was couldn't afford to miss work. I mean, so do we need to raise wages so she can feed her 4 children? Uh, does the government supposed to help her? She had a husband and he left. I don't know what the deal was. I didn't get into her public business, but she's one of thousands that's going to be affected. Now, I agree with you. Probably some people don't need damn food stamps. They get them anyway. But there is some people, maybe let's say if it's 10%, that actually need them. Uh, so is the 10% supposed to suffer for the masses? I don't know. I mean, I felt sorry for her, this, that, and the other. And she and her daughter was 16. She was working at McDonald's to help to feed them. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. We got children helping their parents, her parent, feed the other 3 kids at home. They wasn't that old enough to get a job. I mean, not everybody that's getting food stamps or on welfare or on disability is cheating the government or cheating the deal. So therefore, you're punishing this a group in there that I mean they really depend on help just because you want a wall. Okay, that's not right. That's wrong. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that uh, on one person or minority in the United States. Let's pick let's pick aliens, not Mexicans or anybody comes here, but let's say they came from Mars and they're here, and there's only 10,000 of them in the United States. Well, you're going to take these 10,000 people or Mars people and punish them because I don't want to get any political things in here, but that wouldn't be right either. Just because you want something, but wait a minute, it's both ways. Is the Democrats going to throw? They're just as much punishing the people by not trying to work on something as the president is on the other side, the Republicans and the Democrats. They're both punishing the American people. We hired these people to do a job. And if they can't do a job, maybe we need to get more different people when we vote them in. If a person's been there for the Speaker of the House or a president for 4 years and he ain't no good, why let him stay for 8? I mean, I don't know. Should Pelosi stay in there for Speaker of the House another lifetime term? Should the Supreme Court justice serve for life? No, I don't think so. I think they should be voted in every 4 to 8 years and reappointed. Honest to God, I believe that. Because what's going to happen if he uses his veto to get a national emergency stated, he's going to turn around. Well, the Democrats will turn around and put him in a lawsuit, and the Supreme Court has to make a decision. Well, that could take months or years. So, how's that going to work? I mean, they got other things to worry about, but what's political correct? I mean, there's mass murderers and this, that, and the other, and innocent people are judgments that they got to do to follow the law. There you go. People helping other people out. There is what I'm saying. It's like Costa Rica right now. Their economy crashed. I mean, you can look it up, Google it, Costa Rica. They're one of the richest oil companies in South America. That country was pretty well rich. Well, now $100 don't buy nothing. They had the bill just like we did. They had $1, a $5, a $10, a $20, and a $50, and a $100. We had. Well, now they're printing paper money, $250,000, and won't even buy a loaf of bread. A dollar bill is more money than a stack of money this tall and this wide. I seen it on the sidewalk because their economy fell. What if our economy fell? What if the check you get, let's say you get $3,000 a month, and it ain't enough to buy a loaf of bread? What are you gonna do? Stay at your job? You know, there was one guy that was getting a state check from Costa Rica, and his whole check now, I think it was probably like, I think Social Security pays like average is around $1,000 to $1,200 to $800, somewhere in that area. But how would you like your whole check? All it bought for this man was a bunch of bananas and a dozen eggs. His whole check. That's what happened when the economy crashes. That's what happened when the people we elected does not do their job. That's what happened to their country. The people they elected, because it's a democratic country, the people they elected to do their job didn't do their job, and now their economy crashed. Look at the stock market when the president did what he did. It took a tremendous hit. I mean, do we ignore this as voters? I mean, I'm not like a revolutionary type person or anything. I believe in voting the Democratic way and putting in responsible people from your own mayor or your own city council all the way up to the Supreme Court, the 5 judicial offices of our government. The House of Representatives, the Congress, the presidency, all of it. Supreme Court. These people are working for us. We hired them by voting them in by majority rules. Now, other than the electoral votes that the president got in there, and the majority was for the other person. But anyway, I mean, but that's where our democratic system's set up, and I have no problem with it. But the point about it is, I have a problem when they won't do their job. That's it. I mean, if House of Representatives, the state Congress, the president all come on a term and said, we really, and build a wall. I don't care what kind of wall it is. I mean, they got engineers for that. I'm not an engineer. I'm a biologist. The point about it is, what do we do? Do we just sit there and say, oh, well, hell, that's government. We can't do nothing about it. Yes, we can. We can vote. We can vote the elections, the of any official from bottom to top that is not doing their job. Do we need them in there for life, like the Supreme Court? Do we need them in there? Some congressmen have served 20, 30, 40 years. Do we need them in there for 40 years? Where's our new ideals coming from? From our youth. They're the ones that have to work for a living. What you need to Google is how many people are on Social Security? How many people are on food stamps? How many people are taking some kind of government assistance? And then turn around and see what working class people are left. Look at the people that's in school, from are little be younger than school, all the way to college. They're really not working. You got probably 4 to 6% of the working population. About what I got here, seven people watching. Out of all the people that could be out there watching, I got 7 of them. All right, that's about all you got working. It's about 7% of the population. Are they good? Okay, and they're overtaxed. They're overworked. Someone's working 2 jobs trying to make a living. Okay, what happens? I mean, then I ain't even counting the people in the penitentiary. They don't even work alone. You ain't got very many freaking working class people. You see what I'm saying? No wonder people are living in their cars or living under bridges and they're homeless. Not all of them are drug addicts. Not all of them are bums. I know working people that lives in their cars by watching the YouTube channels. They work in their cars, work 40 hours a week, but they can't. Where they're working, they got a job. Before they're working, they can't afford the rent to have a one-bedroom efficiency where they pull the bed out of the wall. Now, is that what the hell the government is coming down to, and our way of life is coming down to? I mean, I'm getting old, and I've seen better days, both my body and out there in the physical society. We have just about given up, and let people just, oh, well, one person's not going to make no difference. Yes, one person will make a difference. All they got to do is get up there and try. I think every week, I don't want to do it, but every Friday, I believe, let's call it Fridays. Every Friday around 7, 8 o'clock, I think I'll put on a live stream, and I'll run it till I get tired. Let's see. Yes, we are becoming a third world country. We surely are. And yeah, you're right. We're only one paycheck away from being homeless. I get a retirement. I get a Social Security, and I have some other odds and ends. But basically, everybody's just a few paychecks, if not one. And hell, some of them, the one paycheck, they're still homeless. I mean, shit, we're in the hell. We're supposed to be a great country. That's what President Trump run on, make America great again. Well, hell, I don't see it. And I'm not running him down because he has to jack with Congress, the House of Representatives, and all the other damn people. It's just it's not a dictatorship, so he has to deal with the people that don't want this and don't want that. But I think you need to choose your battles. Now, he did make a promise to put up a wall. Okay, and I heard some smart ass people say, well, it's going to cost every American here in the United States $600. Where do I send my check to? Okay, wait a minute. Now, you're going to take up the slack for the people that ain't got the $600, that are homeless, or they're on, what do we do? Take a one Social Security check away from a person so he can pay his Social $600? Well, if there's 5 people in his family, well, pretty soon that adds up. That could be $3,000 or $4,000. Yeah, they ain't got it. They're barely feeding their families as it is, without our government just going belly up like Venezuela. I mean, they keep messing around. They're showing what they're doing. They're showing the American people we don't need the damn government. If the government can't do its job, we got the states doing their jobs now. Let's see what Tammy said. But, I mean, it's just showing me, hey, if they're not doing their job, I guess we're functioning pretty good. Yeah, there's people living in tiny houses and they have a lot of great ideas, but I'm going to tell you a story, and I love to tell stories. Everybody remember Marie Antoinette? France had this problem, and of course, they're still having a problem about the same damn way. They're having to pay $3 and something a liter for gas, so 2 liters of the gas, 4 liters, about a gallon or so. So they're paying $14 to $21 a gallon for heating fuel. How the hell are you going to keep warm like that? But back in France day, uh, people didn't have bread to eat. They're starving there. And she lipped off and said, well, then hell, they ain't got bread, let it be cake. Well, they took her and her old man and a bunch of other kings and queens, princes and dukes and earls and gave them the guillotine. So what's going to happen in America, and I can see this coming like the Civil War back in 1865, 63 or 62, 1862, I think it was. But anyway, if you ain't starvation, when people can't feed their families and this, that, and the other, do you think they're going to give a damn about that damn wall? And that's what you're running people into. They can't hardly feed their families as it is. My son's telling me he's got pneumonia. He's sick. I'm on the YouTube. But or he don't like it, so he barks. He barks at everybody that comes in this house because he wants me to be by myself. Hush, Ori, hush. But he won't eat. He's got a mind of his own for a little dog. The Chihuahua's the worst. They don't want a mind. Ori. Oh, that last cry.
Ori, shut up.
But anyway, the wall is our least of our issues, I think. I think the wall is the least of our worries. I think we could do it a lot better way. Do we need to be like Russia to start annexing other countries and say, well, it's ours now? You know, would that make it? Would that? I mean, California would just send it on down there to the Baja. You know, we own that part of California. Well, that's real Southern California. What is that? Everybody run down there to that damn. What is that damn resort they got down there in Southern California? You know, I wouldn't mind having some of that southern land. You know, where it don't get cold, stays tropical year round. But the point about it is, you're hurting a lot of people. And I'm gonna tell you something. Even the ones that voted for him, did they vote not to have a paycheck? You see what I'm saying? Did they vote not to have a paycheck? Now they voted him in. I'm reading this first. Well, I heard this too, that President Trump, I believe it was, or whatever, wanted the churches to take care of Social Security. They wanted to take care of all the homeless. They do their fair share as it is with food banks. I volunteer at the food bank every once in a while and hand out food to the homeless and the needy. But come on now, you're on the backs of these 7 or 8 people that work. That goes to church and donates, and that we buy our food from the National Food Bank by the ton and give it out to the people. Come on, that's something really the government should do. It shouldn't be even left up to a church. I mean, of course, I know going to church is supposed to feed the hungry and the poor and all this other stuff, but our government is slacking, and we're letting our government slack. You know, come on. Either vote to put the wall in or not to build the wall at all. Don't stand there and have little tissy fits on both sides. Both sides are guilty. Well, just one side. And like in a marriage, it takes both sides to fight. And they're doing plenty of that drama fight. So, I don't know a correct solution. But I do know that if they don't come to some kind of conclusion pretty fast, what's going to happen is we're losing more stability as every minute it goes by. You see what I'm saying? We're losing a bunch of, our people in foreign countries are suffering too because our economy suffers, their economy suffers. Well, food stamps and places like that was really designed to get people on their feet. Social Security was never. I remember when they started drawing Social Security when they started paying in Social Security, not drawing, but paying in Social Security in 1936. Okay, and they started paying in Social Security, but it was never designed to be your retirement. It was never designed for that. Never. So guess what it's ended up being for the elderly? It's designed to be their retirement. They gave us a little raise this year. I don't know, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks, some of us. But come on. If you had a better economy, this, that, and other, and had people off their ass working and not so many people, if they need it, fine. If they don't need it, that's another thing. But if you had a more working economy, you could pay Social Security people $2,000 or $3,000 a month, not just five. I heard people getting $500 to $1,500 about in the average somewhere in that area. But hell, if you had everybody working, the economy kicking their ass, you could give them $3,000 a month. You know damn well they're going to buy stuff with it. Look at my house. Hell, when I got the money, I buy stuff. I ain't got the money, don't buy stuff. I think our government needs to be held accountable for its actions. Where it's a wall, where it's cutting off food stamps, if it's not helping the elderly, I think they should be accountable for the homeless. I mean, they won't even let them have bathrooms and shower houses. Just cause, okay, that forces them to poop in the bushes, pee all over the streets, and not even take baths. What you're helping them out is have a pandemic start, a disease from not being clean or not disposing of your waste. Well, it's all back to the government. Do we need potties for the homeless versus a wall? What do we start first? Make our streets more secure, then build more prisons. Well, is that going to work too? You see, that's like the death penalty is not a deterrent against crime. Well, then you maybe need counseling or education. You need something. You need something put out there. We depend on our government. So many people do, but even the ones that's got money, this, that, and the other, they depend on their government too. Because that's back during when the stock market crashed. You had rich people jumping out of windows. Well, it's liable to be that way again. When $1 million won't even buy you a set of tires for your car because the economy crashed, their millions of dollars is going to end up being like thousands of dollars. Well, that's better. Of course, you got the poor people. They ain't got no money anyway, so is it going to affect them? Maybe not so much. They'll just plant a garden back like when they had the World War II. Everybody planted a victory garden. They just said, to hell with the government. I'll just plant my own damn food and eat it. And that's what they did. That's what happened to the economy when it brought on the Depression. Damn, I've lived too long to live through all that shit. Trying to see what else. But I don't know about that wall. Everybody's, they need to say something to their congressman. Call their congressman. Call their representatives. Call the White House. I mean, hell, he's our damn president. He's subject to our rule. If we don't like him, we can impeach him and get another one. If we like him, then hell, yes, we should stand behind him. Yeah, they changed the age. They want you to die before you get your check. Boy, have I disappointed them on them. Get past almost 90 pretty soon. I'm going to live till I'm 120, so I'll make sure I draw my money back. But no, I don't know what to do. It takes a board of people, or that's why we got a council. That's why we got a House of Representatives. That's why we have a president. Why we have the five judicial systems for our government. It takes all that to swing it, not just one man or House Representative or the Republican Party or the Democratic Party throwing a fit. They work for us. And it's not hard to get your congressman's telephone number. It's not hard to call your White House. Is that if it takes $20, some of them ain't got $20. Well, you got a cell phone here and you pay that bill and you can call long distance on it in the continental United States. I got two of them. I got two kids. They said, one kid got me one. One kid got me one. I said, well, why can't you call? I'll make sure you got one. Because I went camping and I had Sprint and now I got AT&T because where AT&T won't work, Sprint will and vice versa. They do that. But hey, it's not I'm going to do some phone calling come Monday morning. I'm going to call my House of Representatives or my congressman. Hell, I might even put a phone call into the White House. What are they going to do to you? You're a concerned citizen of America. Mail a letter every week. Put a 5-page letter out every week. Send it out there. Send an email across to your congressman. Call your state capitol building. You got a congressman, you got a representative, and you got all this other stuff. If you don't like what they're doing, tell them about it. That's all I can do. You tell them about it. It takes more. It's like that 1 million man march, and that Black Lives Matter march. And it takes, hey, back in the 60s, we all demonstrated, for what we thought was right. And that's what this government should be run on, not just the ideas of a few, but the ideas of many. And that's what we're going to have to do. We need it over with. We need our government back on its feet. So, and what does that take? Well, it takes all 5 judicial systems to work. You see what I'm saying? And the point about it is, it's just like the shutdown of the government. That was what it's not. It was not designed to be a bully tactic. Him locking it up, like he said he's going to use other funding. That's not what that was designed for. What's going to happen is basically the way the state of it is right now. He's right. We're at a national crisis. Yeah, we are not just the United States, but national, throughout the world crisis. Because of a lot of it's our action, a lot of it's their own actions. But there's no sense in running that state of mind. Okay, we have people looking into all kinds of trade actions and everything else. Okay, on a political basis. That's why we have an empathy. I can't even say it without my teeth in, and they're in the jar. An empathy. You guys know what I'm talking about. In every country, and we understand. They have them over here to bring out our views and our ideals and whatever for their country. Come on, thing, run. Well, yeah, they do that. Most people that I ended up with the same house because mainly my wife didn't have an income anyway, so it didn't matter. But the point about it is, what are we going to do? We are the American people. I only got 7 people watching. It don't matter if I only had 1. It doesn't matter. We have to do something. We cannot sit there, apparently, and they'll figure it out someday. No. You claim to be a Christian. You claim to be religious, even if you're Muslim or Jewish or whatever, or Hindu, Krishna, whatever. You still have a heart towards your fellow citizens, your fellow Americans, your fellow people, just people in general. No matter what country they come from. We've got people here now that won't be able to feed their kids. What are they supposed to do? Run up a credit card? Uh, some of them can't even have credit because the woman's got 4 kids and working 40 hours a week. She got her oldest kid working 20, 30, 40 hours a week too, try to feed the other 2 kids, and she can't even get her food stamps because the government, oh, I don't want to work. You see what I'm saying? That's basically they're telling you, I don't want to work. I want what I want, and throw a fit on both sides. Well, hell, that ain't what I hired you for, to throw a fit on both sides. I hired you to work out a damn deal and a trade agreement and every damn thing else. That's why I voted. I hired you by my vote. Okay, if I didn't get the vote on my side, I still expressed my opinion, and you were hired by the majority, or the electoral votes in this president's case. But the point about it is you were hired by the majority of what it took to hire you. You went through the procedure to work for us. Now, damn it, work for us. One way or the other. Don't stand there and have fits or on both sides or bye-bye. That's what's going to happen. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? Because the American people are getting smarter than they used to be about politics. This internet, this phones, there's tweet, there's Instagram, there's all kinds of stuff. And we know when you're not doing your damn job. So you might be like Marie Antoinette, then feed them cake. Well, your deal, of course, we won't cut your head off, but your deal when you said bye-bye might be your statement. Bye-bye. We can get somebody else that wants to work. And the same way with Pelosi and all the rest of them on the other side, the Democrats. They're both guilty. It's like husband and wife. They're both fighting. They're both guilty. We want you to work. That's what we hired you for. Now get off your ass and go to work. If that wall needs built, then build that son of a bitch. We blowing up money overseas in this war, that war, and political deal, and that shit, and give a person $1 million to find Saddam Hussein and all this other bullshit. If we need that damn wall, put that damn wall out there. They're supposed to go, I think both of them agree, they're supposed to go through political channels to get over here. Then by God, let them go through political channels. Hell, don't stop there. Start at the Gulf of Mexico and Texas, and stop at the Pacific Ocean in California. Hell, build 4,000-mile wall if you need it. But get off your ass and go to work. That's why we hired you. They want to throw a fit on the wall. Well, it's more than just the wall. I'll have a sore throat tomorrow talking and hollering. But get off your ass, go to work. If we were working for our employer and we want to throw fits and hissy and all this other crap on both sides, now they're both guilty, we wouldn't have a job. Well, that's the same way. If they're going to throw fits like little kids or whatever on both sides, then they don't need a job. They don't need that job. We need to get somebody in that job that can work together and for the American people. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know what else to tell them. I mean, I'm not going to throw a fit if I don't want the wall and the majority wants it, then put the damn wall in. I live under democracy, and I enjoy my democracy. I enjoy the United States. We could live somewhere else. How about you like to live in Indochina or somewhere, or down in Mexico or wherever other country? No, I don't think that if we wanted to do that, we should move and go live over there. But the point about it is we live in America. Now, America works for us. I believe they need to read the Constitution. We the people, by the people, and for the people. We're the people. We're the people. That's all I'm saying. Work. Go to work. Get it figured out. There ain't no sense shutting down the government. There ain't no reason to throw a fit. And when a person asks you a question, just say no. Well, let's talk about how come I feel that we don't need the wall. Talk about how come we think we need the wall. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm interested. Anybody out there should express their opinion, and no matter what it is, you need to express your opinion. Basically, let me see what else we got. Anything about it out there? Everybody's got their own little problems and everything else, and I understand that. Some people barely making it. Some people are making overachievers. Now, what do we? This president did give the rich a very substantial uh, tax breaks, sort of pinched in on the poor, and that poor working class they have to foot it all. That's what's so sad. The working class people have to foot it all. The 6, 7, 8, 10, 12%, whatever it is, they're having to pay the bill. Okay, now people that's drawn paid Social Security in, they feel like they have a right to draw it, and they do. It's their Social Security. And then people that gets disabled, legitimately are disabled, they have a right to draw their Social Security. Uh, People that's on welfare that needs a leg up or whatever, as long as they follow the rules and regulations of their welfare check, then they need it. I've seen people that, well, he's supposed to have a man living in here, and then, oh, I need to get a raise, I better have another kid. I mean, come on now, people. It's supposed to, welfare should be a limit. If you don't follow the rules strictly, then you need to be kicked off of it. Then if you can't feed your kids, then take them away. I mean, get off your ass and go to work. That's what we would do to the individual out there. They can't feed their kids, we take kids away from them. Well, where it's right or wrong, I'm not going to say. But if these congressmen and these presidents and all these other people can't do their job, then let's take it away from them. You know, we have that power. We have the power to put in who we think will do the best job. Okay, the first 100, 200, 300 days of a person's presidency or their Congress job or whatever will state what kind of job they're doing. If they're not doing up to par, do we need to wait 4 years? And that's for anybody. We can throw out a congressman as well as we can throw out a president. Did you know that? Congressman can be impeached, same way as the president. Now, you don't know that, but that's true. If you're congressman, you're mayor, down on a little bitty level, you're preacher at your church. If he's not doing his job to satisfy the people in the church, then he can be fired. That's your preacher. I mean, do we have to put up with incompetence? I don't think so. I don't think we should. I think we should hold people to a higher standard if they take that type of political job. For God's sakes, we're giving security people the rest of their damn life. Yeah. I think that we have been too lacking and too over forgiving of the people we put in political office. I think we really, really are. I have to look at this phone because I can't see that small print. I probably am at 87. But the point about it is, I've not gave up the fight yet. I demand a better government. I demand more out of them. I don't want to overthrow the government. Hell no. I want to build the government and have a better government. And if we demand more, we get more. That's like a balling kid, and he keeps balling. You pretty well stand on your head if that's what it takes to get it satisfied and taken care of. I have to look at this phone. Oh, come on. I hope so. I've been sick all day. But I've been watching a little bit of this presidency and this speech and getting ready to go to Texas and all this stuff. And then Pelosi coming out and claiming, oh, he had a fit like a little kid. Well, he's probably frustrated. Now, I didn't vote for him. I'll tell you that right up the front. I voted for Hillary the Spy. I didn't know where, I'm a liberal by heart. I believe live and let live. And I didn't know if he had enough experience running a government. So that's where you go. But hey, he is your president. Now, would I have changed my vote? No. Not today. Wouldn't have changed my vote. But hey, he is your president. Respect your president. You see what I'm saying? That's like your minister. Respect your minister till he shows you otherwise. And if he shows you otherwise, guess what? There's procedures in place to get rid of him and get another one. He's not a king. And she's not a queen. The point about it is we are a democracy. And to be a democracy, we have to get out and vote. We have to establish our opinions. And that's like right now. Everybody has got an opinion about that wall. Where the majority is to build it or not build it. But majority should rule either way. But we damn sure demand our Congress, our House of Representatives, our president to do their damn job. Don't sit there like little kids with a thumb up your butt and expect not to do your job. See what I'm saying? Do your job. And that's all it takes. I mean, hey, I've worked for other people and other people's worked for me. If they didn't do their job or if I didn't do my job, they'd fire my ass. Well, you threaten them with that, they probably get on the ball and start doing their damn job. They have set up there in Congress. They have set up there in the House of Representatives. They set up there in the Supreme Court. They do for life, which is wrong. I believe that I don't think anybody should serve over 4 years without being revoted in. Okay, that's the presidency. And every 2 years on the House, Congress, and everything else. But what about the Supreme Court? There's plenty of damn lawyers out there qualified to be a judge. There's plenty of damn judges that's qualified to sit on the Supreme Court, state or federal, either one. But you need people to do their damn job. Now, the judicial system, which is the Supreme Court, they go off what law is established. It's already established. They can't break the law by choosing something else. They have to follow the law. That's the same way with the presidency. They need to follow the law, follow what's correct. And as citizens, we need to do the same damn thing. Well, the point about it tells us in the good book to pray for your leaders. Well, I've done a bunch of that, especially here lately. I prayed. That's our job, to pray for our leaders. Okay, and a lot of us do. But it's also them leaders is representing us. They represent us. And if they can't represent us, then we need to find someone that does. They won't sit up there and fuss and fight like little children and hurt the American people just to get their own way. Is that correct? No, not on either side. That's not correct. That's not what we hired them for. Now, if we need a wall, build a damn wall. If we don't need a damn wall, don't build a damn wall. But we, honest to God, need them to go to work. And we do not need to punish the air traffic controllers. We do not need to punish our Coast Guard, tell them to have garage sales, for God's sake. Come on. How much they're gonna have to sell out of that damn house to make a $1,200 house payment? They're up on the little higher end than most people. And if you have more money, spend more money. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, but what I'm saying, that's not even realistic. That's a stupid saying. They got a memo, then they finally took it down. But that's what their leaders told them to do, have garage sales and bake sales and all this other shit. Well, how are they going to get the damn flour and sugar and shit to have a damn bake sale, to sell the damn cake, to pay the house payment, and the damn gas bill to cook the damn cake? Stupidity. I mean, hell, if you watch my damn show, you see how big a damn hoarder I really am. But I don't think I could have a year's worth of garage sales to support my damn self. See, he even said it might be shut down for a year. Well, you're going to have the same damn thing Russia military walking off the job. You're going to have, they'll use their sick leave, their vacation time, and everything else to work at something else to support their family. You cannot play Marie Antoinette. You cannot play like the French did back in the 1600s. Feed them cake because they didn't have bread. Well, look what France is into it right now. Their inflation went outrageous. I mean, a gallon of heating oil is $7 a gallon. Well, hell, you can't stay very damn warm when you're going to use, I don't know, a couple of thousand gallons of heating oil in winter. Look what happened to Venezuela. They're printing money now by the thousands, by like Confederate money. A wheelbarrow of that shit wouldn't buy you nothing after the Confederacy lost, and even as it got down to where they'd win or lose, still Confederate money wasn't no good. They wanted gold, bullion, something, hell, material eggs. You couldn't even buy a damn dozen eggs with a $10 bill of Confederate money when the war got to where they thought they might lose. That's what's going to happen to us. Our economy is going to crash like Venezuela if we cannot get the damn people off their ass to work. That we hired them people to work for us. Let's see what I'm reading this people's side. I'm a good preacher here. Well, I'm just saying, what the American people are putting up with, they don't have to. Write your congressman. Give him 10 million letters. Send him 10 million letters. I don't give a damn if you have to send him 5 or 10 of your own. I mean, hell, it's easy. I can voice whatever I want to say here. Walk my ass right over to that damn printer, hit the button, and it'll print out every damn thing I said. Put it in a yellow envelope, pay $3, and send a image to him. Doesn't matter if they read this shit or not. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 letters going to the White House. Do you know how many millions of people live in America? Google it. If 10% of them send him a damn letter, that's a lot of damn paper. Call him. Hell, 10% phone calls to your congressman or their congressman. I mean, come on. Okay. There's one vote. I say build the wall. Then build the damn wall for that one person. No. We have to have majority rules. If majority wants that wall, then build it. If majority doesn't want that wall, wants to do something else, then they need to look at that aspect. But we need to get off our ass and make them go to work. Make them figure out what to do that the American people want. He got voted in there that people wanted to build a wall. Well, write your congressman. Say, I want the damn wall built. Shut the hell up, get the damn wall built. If you don't want it built, write them a letter. But what I need to do is tell them to get off the ass and go to work. This is what this country's built on, free enterprise. And so therefore, they need to work. I had to work. They need to work. Now play a little old game because I'm too old for you to play that game with me anymore. Okay, so you want some weed. I don't know where to do good or not good. I'm not a political activist other than what I am is to tell them to get off their ass if they want marijuana, if they want a wall, or if they don't want this or they don't want that. I think it's illegal. Some states legalize it, but the federal government has never legalized it. So there you go. But I think the wall is an issue that can be hashed out without punishing the American people. Now, does that sound like Pelosi? Maybe not, or maybe so. But I think it can be worked out. I mean, right now we haven't even got enough food inspectors to inspect the damn food, and hell, we could be eating sawdust for all hell we know. Yeah, we haven't got enough USD inspectors that stayed on the damn job because they closed that part of the office to inspect our damn food. So we're eating garbage. Hell, God knows what we're eating. Probably feces. You know what that is. I don't believe it should have ever been shut down. What the hell? You that'd be like, oh, I go on vacation. Okay, I want to turn off the lights. I mean, bullshit. I hired them. They took up the mantle to go to work for me. I voted for them. One way or the other, I voted for some of them, got in, some of them didn't. But the point about it is, I hired them. As a country, we hired these people to work for us. What do you mean shut down the damn government? That means to tell me right off the damn bat, if you shut it down, I guess we don't need that part of the government anymore. It's working pretty damn good as it is. Well, some parts of it is, some parts of it ain't. These people need their food stamps. That's ridiculous. You're going to starve people that can't afford to eat. Really? That's the way you're going to do it? You're going to starve them. They probably didn't vote the first damn place. They probably gave up a long time ago because our government does what the hell it wants to do. No, starving people, making the homeless suffer, that's not the American way. You see what I'm saying? During the Depression, they didn't have enough jobs and this, that, and the other. They started up the United States started up soup lines to feed people. They didn't leave it up to the damn churches like they do today. And people like me volunteer down there to help other people, and we donate money so we can buy food from the food bank. The government should have donated it to us to give out. Actually, they should be the one giving it out. We should worry more about their soul than we should worry about their belly. But hell, we got to worry about both sides of it. That means the Christian people or the Muslim people, they do the same thing. They have their feed the poor shit and box at the door. That is the government's problem. They're the American citizens. That's the government's responsibility. And I don't think starving people is a way to get your damn wall built. I don't think throwing a hissy fit because you don't want it built is a way to go either. I think if you too damn won't work for us, then we need different people to work for us. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Both sides. Help clean them all out next election. I believe they need to work. Shutting the government down is not working. Okay. There we go. We got another vote for the wall. How much do you realize how much of the wall he's going to build? You can Google it. I think somebody told me 50 miles is all they're going to be able to do. Well, hell, 50 miles ain't going to make us no more secure than we are right now. Hell, I can't walk another 2 days and go around the damn wall. Or hell, carry me a come along since it's bars and just write me a chain and widen the gap out and walk through it. It's 700 miles. Okay, thank you. But 700 miles is not going to give us security. You know how far it is from the tip of the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean? And all of it borders Mexico. They'll just move over 1,000 miles and walk through. What the hell? I agree with you. Most people walk through on major cities. Some will parts of the wall right now. They just walk it in and out just like it's a goddamn revolving door. I've got nothing against the wall, but build the whole son of a bitch all the way across, and then go up there to Canada and build that son of a bitch all the way across. Be like China. Be a closed country. Like, see how happy they are now. See how much happier citizens are. I don't know. I do know one damn thing, that we have people set that we hired to do their damn job. You see what I'm saying? We hired these people to do their job. If they want a wall, then build it. If they don't want a wall, don't build it. But don't sit up there and throw little fits on both sides. And that's all they're doing. They're making us suffer while they're doing something else. God knows what they're doing underneath the table or behind our backs or whatever. I get irritated when they attach something onto another bill. I voted for this bill to be good, but not 25 damn tag-ons that they tag on to the damn thing. That's why I've been a prepper like for 50 years. Not that I want my government to succeed, but hell, what if it fails? Look at Costa Rica, it failed. There you go. I think it's just like, if you had a business and would you say, well, I'm going to close my business because I don't like what you're doing? No, you said, I'll fire your ass and I'll get somebody that's going to do the job that I need done. That's all I'm saying. They get so secure in their position that they don't even give a damn what the American people want. Well, the cost is more than the American people, $5 billion. Hell, that's a drop in the damn bucket. That's like one fucking rocket going up that they test every damn year. You know how many billions of dollars they test in firearms every year just to see that they make sure they're ready? No. Well, I've always said, thank God this country allows us to have guns. The right to bear arms. And then they got so many regulations on that. I ain't too sold on that either. But I think that what we hired to do the job needs to do the damn job. Build a wall or don't build a damn wall. But the president does not need to throw a fit, and the Democrats don't need to throw a fit either. The Republicans and the Democrats, all they want to do is sit there and fight. I think we should just have one party. You know what I'm saying? Like America or the American People Party. Maybe that's what we need. The American People Party, we need something. I don't want to be a socialist. I don't want to be a communist. But I want to be a democratic society. That means they got to work and vote in what needs to be done. Yeah, at one time I had a place here. We had people jumping over the fence and stealing stuff, especially after that damn tornado we had, May 3rd tornado. And I put up a 12-foot fence with 3 strands of barbed wire on top of it. That kept people from crawling over and stealing my shit until everything got leveled back down. Then I took the wall down, back down to a 4-foot fence to keep the dog in. I'm not saying there's not a need for a wall. I'm not saying there is a need for a wall. I'm just saying do what the American people wants done. Now and don't say, well, I'll just close down the government. That's wrong on his part. And then the other side, well, we'll just sit there and argue and see how much the American people can take. Is that what we hired them for, to make us suffer? We hired them to do a job for the American people. You see what I'm saying? We are the American people. I'm just saying, would you hire somebody to sit on their ass and not do their job? Okay, being American is like holding a business. Okay, if you owned a business, would you hire a bunch of people out there to just sit on their job or argue? I had a remodeling company at one time, and I had this guy. He'd always come over and tell me this and tell me that and tell me this and tell me that. And I think the guy, and let's use the word Joe. Joe didn't do this. Joe did that. Joe broke that. Joe did this. Joe did that. I finally got tired of that damn kid, and I said, "This is how it's going to be." Apparently, Joe's the only one working, because if you guys never broke anything, never fucked up, excuse my language, never screwed up anything. Apparently, Joe's the only one working. And after I said, so I need to fire everybody else because Joe's the only one working. They all went to work instead of arguing about who done what and when they done it, like little kids. This is what you got in government. You got a bunch of spoiled little brats on both sides that wants their own way. No, I want what the American people want. Is that too hard to say? I want what the American people want. If they want a wall, build it. If they don't want a wall, don't build it. But the American people needs to choose. And what I'm saying, they need to choose that these people do not need to sit on their rump and get away with what they're doing. Excuse my language again. I didn't mean to. But that's what I said at the time of that kid. I was so dang hot. And I finally settled it because that's costing me money. Like these people fussing and fighting right now is costing us money. Or the lack of it, one or the other. I'm sorry. I get irritated sometimes beyond capacity to keep my tongue shut. I'm trying to read all this. I mean, I think if we let them get away with what they're doing, what are we going to have to put up with next time? That's all I'm saying. Well, I shouldn't have. I was raised better than that. Besides beside the point, but I'm just saying, okay, what are we going to put up with next time? If it's coming so easy to shut down the government, how much government do we need? I think there was a guy back in Greek or something that said, less government's better government. Sort of in them words. Well, what I'm saying, what are we going to, okay, next time they're going to say, well, we don't need anybody to do this. They can make up their own rules if we let them get away with it. That is not why we voted them in, to make up their own rules, have their own little tissy fits and stuff like that. That ain't what we hired them for. We hired these people to do the job. Do the job. Get off of it and go do the job. Okay? If it takes him getting the military to build that wall, put him to work. I would rather see him build a wall than go shoot a gun and put their life in danger in a foreign country. I'll be honest with you. So if it takes putting the military to work to build a wall, that's one less guy that has to go overseas and fight for somebody else's rights when they won't even fight for our own rights over here. I have no problem with that. Put the soldiers to work. Rome did it. How do you think they built Hadrian's Wall? The soldiers built it. Well, maybe that's what we need to do. At least the president's got a plan. And I didn't even vote for the man. He's got a plan. Do we need one more missile versus one more foot of a wall? Let me figure this one out. Ain't too hard. What does a missile do? Well, I shoot it over there and it kills a bunch of people, or I just shoot it and practice and see how much damage it's going to do. Well, maybe we need to build a wall. I don't think I'd build it out of iron. I think I'd build it out of concrete. I figured out then styro block, concrete blocks is the way to go. You fill them up with styrofoam. You can't turn them things down. We tried one time in the plant. Had one. Was going to push it over with a forklift and bent the forks on forklift. That thing was tough. But they'll still just like between what was it? Egypt and what was that other country? Not Israel, but Palestine. They built a tunnel that was 5 miles long. I mean, how are we going to do that? I mean, there's a way. There'll be less people. But I'm just saying, we cannot let our government get away with what it's getting away with. It is not going to work. I'm having to read all this stuff. I like to get the people involved in it. It's their channel, not mine. There's a lot of good ideas on the sidebar over here. I mean, people are frustrated. That's what happened during France in the 1600s. They were frustrated. They could not feed their family. It's like somebody said one time, what is the difference between a recession and a depression? A recession is when your neighbor's out of food and job. A depression is when you're out of food and a job. Now, there's not much to flip it over from a recession to a depression. You see what I'm saying? If your neighbor that's got 3 or 4 kids can't feed their kids because they have no food stamps, what are they going to do? They're going to start stealing and robbing and killing. That's like the worst time in the world for theft and pickpocket and what they call when they go in a store and take something they ain't supposed to. Well, it ain't hijacking, but robbery and kleptomaniacs, or what do they call it? Shoplifting. That's the word I'm looking for. Is the worst time is during Christmas. Really? That's to show your brotherly love is to be stealing? Come on now. That's what's going to happen, though. And in a way, you can't help them. If they have no food, all hell breaks loose when people go hungry. Just think about that shit. I mean, how many people? I've been a prepper for years and years. I always keep, let's say about, I don't know, a few tons of food put up. And I shop in bulk. If you watch my channel. The point about it, and if you want to find out more, I'm going to have one of these at least maybe once every 3 days, or at least once every Friday, as long as this government shut down. And more people need to express their opinion. They're frustrated, for God's sakes. No matter which side they're on, they're frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to run somebody's opinion down because he's under my Constitution and what the American people have fought for since they coalitioned a government is the freedom of speech and their opinion be heard. That's all we're asking for, people, is our opinion to be heard. And our opinion, and mine, is to get off your ass and go to work. Sorry about bouncing this thing. I mean, get off your butt, go to work, and work for the American people to resolve a solution. The longer it goes on, the more it's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect our policies overseas. It's going to affect everything about the United States government. If you want a strong government, then be a strong government. Get out there and show your strength. And if you want to be a strong person or this, that, and the other, write your congressman, call your congressman, tell them your opinion, update it. There you go. This man here lived on beans and rice. Is that what we want to do? Just because we need a wall, or don't want a wall, or do need a wall? There is no reason whatsoever to cut these air traffic controllers, Homeland Security, our National Guards, any of them people out of a check. You notice that he did not stop Social Security checks. You know why? He's old enough to draw Social Security. The point about it is, you would have tens of thousands of people on the White House steps. Now, what are you going to do with people my age that decided to go demonstrate to Washington, D.C., or even on your state capitol? Do you realize how many people in my state alone of Oklahoma are elderly? What are you going to do? You're going to get mad at grandma and grandpa sitting on the White House steps? I mean, and if they don't have their medicine in 12 hours, they're going to die anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are they going to do? Take off the colostomy bags and start throwing them at them? And take their diaper off and throw at them? No. We're up to the American people that could do other things and express our opinions. We do not need to tolerate our government not working. To me, that is not a ploy to shut down the government. It's not they shut it down on both sides. You don't think the Democrats knew that it wasn't coming? Because the president told them he was. Was it right for him to do it? No. Wasn't right on either side. You cannot make people suffer to get your own way. That's like a bully in a playground. Everybody putting up with the bully. Well, basically, they're all bullies. The president, the vice president, the Democrats, the Republicans, the state senators are all bullies. They want to bully their way through government. That is not the way to run the government. No, and I'm not running, so there you go. I'm too old. I think they should have an age limit on the Supreme Justice system. I think if you're over 70 years old, you don't need to be a Supreme Court justice. That's too old. I don't want to work. I'm too old now to work. All I do is flap my jaws and want everybody else to work because I've done it and put in my time. They've not put in their time because they took their job. They had to run and spend millions of their own money and everybody else's political money. They wanted the job that bad. Well, they got the job. Where it was a senator or a congressman, your mayor, you had to run for office, your own little political state levels, your city levels, your town levels. They all wanted that job. Well, they got the job. Now do the damn job. I'm going to read some more here. Everybody worried about being prepper and everything else and survivalist and all this other stuff. That's funny. What I'm saying, though, how many people do you know out there that would want that job? I don't want it. But if I took it on, then I must have wanted it. Then all I'm saying, they need to do it. Right. They're getting their check. Their check is not cut off. Your congressman, your representative, and they're not losing any money. It might take 6 months for these National Guards to get their money, or these air traffic controllers to get the balance of their paycheck back. Is that correct? That's like working for free. You don't ask them to work for free because they ain't. They're getting their money. I'm just saying, point blank, if you there's no reason, if you do not write a letter or call on any level, then That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't matter what you say, complain, or whatever. Or, yes, I need a wall. No, I don't need a wall. If you think we need a wall, send a letter in. Call them up. If you don't need a wall, if you don't want a wall, same thing. Call them. Send a letter in. Express your opinion, but tell them to go to work. That would be the first thing on the top of my letter. You need to go to work and build my wall. You need to go to work and not build the wall, but help the people that whatever your political deal is, but they need to go to work. That's how hard it will. That's probably true. But the point about it is, I've called. I mean, is it in vain? I don't know. Somebody's listening to me somewhere. You guys are listening. That's a start. I mean, and I didn't sign up to be, your congressman, your House representative, your president. You're your president. As long as he's in office, you should respect him. When he gets out of office, you still should respect him. He served his time. But the point about it is, if he's not going to work, I don't know whether he's working harder or not as hard. He seems to be taking our tax dollar and flying around the United States, or to Texas or wherever. But he needs to get something done. Congress needs to get something done. Shutting your government down, making people go hungry. Can you imagine what that woman that worked at Walmart I talked to, that had 4 children and had her daughter working at McDonald's, but she needs to really be going to school. She's only 16. And doing her homework and doing things that 16-year-old kids need to be doing, not helping mama feed the family, for God's sakes. And the woman's putting in 40 hours and she can't get enough to feed her 4 kids. And she's having to draw food stamps, and now she can't even get that. Come on. All I'm saying is it be probably the preaching of the ages is, I love these trolls. They need to spend more time on calling their congressman. I believe that the government should be run better than what it is, and I've always said that, because you got the American people living in cars, RVs, trade. They think that's a better way to live. You got homeless living under bridges that you won't even address with a toilet or some kind of stability to take a shower. You've got so many people that is just giving up on work because they can't make a living. But that's what happens. Well, I can make it. Oh, Bob Tobbs, or whatever his name is, out there in Arizona and whatever, preaching, you can make it on $800 a month. Well, maybe some of them can. But is that all you want out of life? Is just food and water, and barely enough? Barely have to huddle up and poop in a plastic bucket. I mean, or live in a 1-bedroom tiny apartment because you can't even feed your kids. I mean, economy should come back. We should not buy overseas so much. Everybody's got good points. The president's got some good points. Yeah, maybe we don't need to give all of our paycheck to China or Iran or Iraq and all these oil companies overseas and stuff. Maybe we need to produce more at home, steel or whatever, back when the government was stronger than what it is now. I remember when all back east in Pennsylvania and there, we was the biggest manufacturer of steel and every other thing. I mean, everything was bought in America. Then all of a sudden we got Taiwan and Thailand and China and Japan and all these cheap products coming over here. And they thought, it's just like automation. Automation does not build up economy. It builds up the rich, but the working class people don't go nowhere with pretty soon they want you to cash your own groceries in, buy off Amazon. You can get it cheaper. Well, is that what we want? I guess so. Yeah, people have had to live in their trailer while they was and doing the work, probably doing the work on their homes themselves because they couldn't afford. That's why you know, to live somewhere else, they had to live in their own fifth wheel, their own travel trailer, and they had to do most of the work themselves because they didn't have the money to have a builder come in and build it. Didn't have it, just didn't have it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Everybody's entitled to what they think is right. But thank God that a majority rules, and we live in a democracy. Sorry about shaking this table, because I'm glad we don't live in a dictatorship. And anytime a congressman, a president, your governor, anybody decides to be a dictator, a judge, then we don't need them in there. It's not a dictatorship of any kind. We should have a democracy. Yep, I have a few RVs myself. I'm working on my third one, which is a toy hauler. But the point about it is, I don't know. I don't know how to express how bad we need a government to work for us, not us working for it. It's just like Kennedy said, it's not what your government can do for you, it's what you can do for your government. Well, now it's reversed. We need to know what our government can do for us. Meaning, if they can't work for us, we need to get a new government. We need to vote them out, vote new ones in. And history will tell where any president or any congressman, any governor, any mayor, any judge, any school teacher was a good one or a bad one. You have to leave that up to history. But right now, if they're not doing anything, is it good or bad? I think it's bad. Because that ain't what we hired them for. We hired them to address our problems, domestic and foreign, to be our representatives here and abroad, right down to our schools, to our lunchrooms, our doctors, our medicines, everything that has to do with our well-being. That's what we hired people for. The CDC to worry about diseases, the Department of Health. We hired all these people, and then they hired people under them. But mainly our government is responsible for everything. And the higher the leader is, whether he's a janitor in the White House or the president, he's held at a certain level. And if they don't make it up to that level, they fire the janitor and they can fire the president. But I can't see somebody firing somebody if they work. Now, if he's working for your best interest, the majority, not just one person or one side, he's got to work for both sides. The majority rules. And that's why we have a split house, representatives and Congress. And he's supposed to be the tiebreaker, you know. The Republicans and Democrats, he's the tiebreaker. He's not supposed to be a Republican. He's not supposed to be a Democrat. Did you know that? He's got to represent both parties. And I hate to be on his ass, but he took the number one job. Now, he took the number one job, and the number one job means one thing. All of it falls on his shoulders. Let me read some of this. you guys read each other's comments out there because some of them are really, really interesting. Well, good night, sir. Have a great one. And majorities is one that suffers the worst. I mean, the president said, blacks, Hispanics, ethnic groups, Orientals. The smaller the group, the worse they suffer because they have less people to represent them. I mean, that's just where life is. But that's what I'm getting at. I mean, we did not hire them people for us to suffer. That's all there is to it. And I don't know how. I mean, I didn't take on the job of any office, so therefore it's not on my shoulders. I'm gonna let you go. My throat's a little sore. I'm gonna cut it off at 10 o'clock. I mean 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I'm gonna turn it off. And but like I said, the only thing I can say to do something is write a letter or give them a telephone call. Or express your opinion, whatever your opinion is. Here on YouTube, it's really, I mean, like I said, the highest I got here tonight was about 16 people. That ain't nothing. The drop in the bucket. But like I said, I decided I'd go live. I think I'll go live every Friday, probably around 8, 9 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, somewhere in that area. So look for me. We'll talk about this. I'm going to talk about the wall and the government working until we decide we want a wall or don't want a wall, and our government goes back to work. Other than all that stuff, I could be watching Netflix and enjoying myself and having a good old time and not even worry about it. But the point about it is I'm an American citizen. I have a right to express my opinion like you guys do too. And that's all I want you to do is express your opinion. Get out there and vote. Okay, if you didn't vote, that don't matter. You didn't vote. Okay, well, sometimes, hey, a couple of years ago, I was so sick I couldn't get down to vote. And I didn't want to vote what they call absentees. The point about it is you do still have a right to express your opinion. And I've heard so much, well, if you didn't vote, you don't have a right. Yes, you do. You're an American citizen. You have a right. Your right was not to vote. It's your right. And it's your right not to call them. It's your right to not write them a letter. But then you have the other flip of the stone. They're going to do what they want to do. You did not contribute your opinion. You didn't get in there. Get your opinion in there. Hell, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, man, black, white, come from a religious group or whatever. Get your opinion heard. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe that we wanted a government to just sit on its butt and not do anything. I don't think that's why we voted for them in any way, or even want if we didn't vote for them. We don't want representatives not looking out for our best interest. I can understand both sides. I was a good debater in college. I can understand both sides. I mean, I can see why we need a wall. I can see why we need other things would probably come in front of the wall, like toilets and showers for the homeless, a better work program, higher wages. There's a whole bunch of things out there that's on people's plates. Well, that's great. I run a lot of solar when I go camping. My bus, I keep it for a bug out vehicle. I call it survival vehicle. Who knows? Them people in Costa Rica are starving to death. Now they're dying on the damn street because their economy crashed. And the next thing will happen is a pandemic. Is that what we want in America? If it's like if you don't got water and electricity and you can't flush your toilet, well, that's what's going to happen. They ain't got money to buy electricity and water and sewage and all the other stuff. The next thing comes along is a pandemic. That's what you're doing by your government shutdown. Do you know your water and wastewater system are run by basically state and federal governments? What happens if your sewer system don't work? Better thank God you're on the septic, or you're on a well. What if the water don't come through the pipes no more? Well, we was getting 20 or 30% federal funding, and we can't afford to run our pumps anymore because they shut off federal funding. Schools, we don't have as many school teachers or many books or lunch programs because the government shut off the federal food program for kids. Oh, they shut off Head Start. They shut off all this stuff. That's what you want out of your government. You want it to shut down to where it doesn't have to work. Hell, it's easy. Well, like, ain't no sense worried about it. I don't have to write a letter and send out food stamps this month. I don't have to write a letter over here and pay the National Guard. I don't have to write a letter over here and pay the city, state parks, and federal parks. No, I don't have to worry about that. Fire that damn janitor over there. We don't need to clean up that shit. Just let it lay there and rot. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to have out there in Arizona at some long-term visitors park, they had to shut the park. The volunteers shut the park down because the toilets were overrun with sewage. They was just pooping in the corners or anything else. People are the most nastiest damn creatures I've ever seen in life. And the trash was overrun. They had to shut it down. Volunteers came in there and locked the gate, told everybody to leave. You see what I'm saying? You know, they're closing Yosemite. Okay. I'm a reading. Takes me a while. That's a good idea, though. I talked to my doctor and he put the solar on his house. He had 4 little kids. I said, it's going to be a hell of a lot better babysitters so that they can play their little videos and stuff. I think he had from 2 or 3 years old. I said, be a great babysitter. That's right. They don't get paid either. That's what I'm saying. What we did by letting the president do that, I don't think he should have come to that extreme. I think they should have worked it out. So, you know, we hired them to work things out. Our president should not be a Republican and should not be a Democrat when he takes that office. If he was a Republican, got voted in on a Republican ticket, that's one thing. But he's supposed to serve both sides of the coin. He's supposed to look at all America's interest, just not the Republicans. Or if he's a Democrat, not just the Democrats. He's supposed to look at every aspect for the best interest of our United States. And the key word is united. And I'm going to pretty well close on that note. Is being united gets more things done than sitting there. We have all they have done in the last years, and that's been quite a few presidents, is not being united. And that's all we have to be, having a united United States. One nation under God, not a bunch of individuals doing whatever the hell they want. And let me. Of course, he should be independent. In the Bible says, "A divided house will not stand." And like she said, a divided house ain't never gonna get anything done. So I think we should not have a party. I don't think we don't need a Democrat, Republican party, or the Webs and the socialist and the communist parties and all that other. We just need one party, the United States Party. United is the key word. I got to go. You guys think about it. Have a great day. And think about next Friday. I think I'll be on here again for a couple hours. I think I'll eat something right now. But just think what I said. Get out there and express your opinion. You guys has got channels over here. All these has got channels. They got a lot more fan base than I do. Get out there and express your opinion. If you don't want to write a letter, get out there and express your opinion on your own channel. Where you want a wall, don't want a wall, that's up to you how you run your own channel. Or talk about food prices going up and down. Talk about whatever, something's happening in our America, and it's really something bad. I don't think it's going to be good. You guys take care. Have a great day.